and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm doing a video on the new Element Optics Immersive Series, and it's the 5x30 scope. I'm doing this video for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's a brand new scope out. So secondly, I'm going to be putting this onto a Springer. There's no information currently on the internet, there's no videos. I've asked questions on the forums and on the Facebook groups just to get a bit of information about if anybody's put them onto a Springer before, did they get on with them, but I didn't get any feedback. So hopefully if you are got a Springer or a gas ram and you're thinking I might fancy an immersive scope, then hopefully this video will give you a little bit of insight. So currently I have the Element Helix 4-16x44 on both of my rifles. So I've got a Viroc HW90K, which is obviously the gas ram, and I've got an Air Arms Pro Sport, which is obviously the Springer. So this arrived today by parcel force. I got it from the Sportsman Gun Centre. Ordered it on a Friday. It's Monday today, so it's only taken the days over the weekend to get here. I'm not sure when this video will go out because I've got a little bit of editing and things to do, yeah, hands up to Sportsman Gun Centre. I rang them on the Friday, asking them about the mount and what they recommended. They told me which one to go for. So hopefully, obviously you'll see this will be mounted onto the rifle, and hopefully it'll all work out really well. So let's open it up. I'm not going to do a mega unboxing of it because Element Optics do a really good job of that. They tell you exactly what is in the box, but really well packaged from Sportsman Gun Centre. Okay, so now all the packaging's out the way. So we've got the scope mount. It's the adapter base Hawk. This is what was recommended, so that will be going on. So here we are. So as you can see, we've got Optics Immersive Series 5x30. This is the LPR 1D MRAD. This was designed by the Dark Lord of Optics, Ilya Koshkin. Some people have commented on some of the forums that they really like these reticles. So from what I've seen of this one, it looks really good. So let's open up the box. So again, a really nice box. We've got a magnetic catch on there, which is a nice little touch from Element. And we've got the lens cloth. We've got a sticker, an optic sticker, the manual, and the manuals are always really good with the Element scopes. They give you comprehensive fitting guides, which we obviously are going to be going through. Everything about the reticle, a little bit of information about MRAD and MOA and understanding the units. So it's a really good book to have a look at, and obviously the reticle itself. You can download these from the Element Optics website. So I did this prior to the scope coming, so I could actually have a really good look at it. So what we've got in the box, we've got a little top. So this is obviously these immersive scopes come with two base rails, which are adjustable. So this is the smaller one. The larger one is obviously on the scope itself. You always get some Allen keys. So put that to the side. So here we go. Let's take the scope out and have a first look at it and see what we think. Okay, so here is the scope. So first impressions, it feels nice and solid, very much reminiscent of the Helix. So it's got the element optics touch to it of refinement. I did look at the immersive scope at the British Shooting Show earlier on this year in February. It was a 5x30 Pro, which again could have been used on a recoiling rifle. So it was a kind of a toss-up between the Immersive Pro 5x30 or the Element Optics Immersive 5x. But I went for the Element Immersive because I've had the 4016x44 for a few years now, ever since they came out, and been really happy with them. The only reason I was looking to sort of change scope is that new models were coming out with better glass, and I was looking to get something with a little bit better glass than what the Helix had. Unfortunately, in the standard scopes, the Helix with the HD glass, they came in the second focal plane. I quite like the first focal plane. The next one up, really, that because obviously I wanted a smaller scope to go on the springers and then the gas ram. The Titan's a little bit too big for me because they went up to a 34mm tube, and so the next one up was the Nexus, which we were looking sort of £1,000 plus, which I would have paid, but for me, with the Helix, I was using 4x, 5x, maybe up to 8x zoom at the maximum. Very rarely I kind of went up to the sort of the top end. So going to the Nexus would have taken me to, I think it was a 5-25. So yes, I would have got the better glass. It's obviously Japanese glass. However, I would still be using sort of the bottom end, so I'd be paying a lot of money for a lot of scope that I didn't really need. And obviously, in a way, the 4016 Helix was more than I needed anyway, because I kind of only used obviously the lower end of the zoom range. But saying that, I really like the reticle that was on the APR 2D, the Christmas tree style dirty reticle as they called it. This one is the APR 1D as they call it. It's got a slight Christmas tree, so obviously it's got the hold off points, which I quite like. Where I am here, it's obviously quite a windy site, so it's actually nice to have those points just as reference. So obviously going back to this scope, nice solid build, and thinking back to the British Shooting Show, I did handle the 5x30 Pro, and the image quality was really nice, but from my recollection, not as refined as this, not as solidly built. It would be good to have one side by side so you could actually see the difference. Obviously don't have that, but this does feel like Element Optics have actually put their stamp on it. They've obviously designed it the way that they design all their other scopes. It feels solid. So yeah, the flip up caps, these are very nice. So very nice on the parallax. So we've got the capped windage. So these clicks are nice and solid. Put that back on. And again with the elevation, nice solid clicks. And obviously these can be reset. Like I say, there's adjustment in the base rail either way to try and get this centered with the rifle. So then it means that you've got more adjustment on the elevation. Probably not that I'll be using. Very rarely used it on the Helix. I would 0 it at 30 meters, and then I'll actually use I'd use the reticle for the different distances, because I'd be shooting anywhere between 10 meters and maybe 50, 60 meters if I was sort of playing with sort of paper targets. But for the pest control that I do here, it's normally 20, 30, 40 meters that we're kind of looking at. So this scope is ideal. The one thing that really pushed me to sort of get this was I was doing some squirrels the last couple of weeks because they've been collecting the conkers. So, and with the 4-60, even on the 4x zoom, you were kind of losing them in the tree. They're obviously very quick, but they would dash around and they would stop, give you a few seconds to take the shot. But you kind of lose it, and then you'd have to sort of take out and see where it was, and then by the time you've sort of come back. So hopefully a scope like this will solve that issue with having that wide field of view. So obviously we've got this is to put for the illumination. Now obviously it did say so in the instruction book, so I'll just have a quick look. So the illumination and battery. So obviously unscrew the battery containing cover, insert the 2032, which I've got, obviously not included in the box. That is probably due to the delivery companies, but I got a load of these from Amazon. So the minus side is facing out, so it's the button bit which is the minus side to face out. So let's pop that in. We'll screw this back on. So we might as well do this while the camera's running, and then we'll see whether we can okay. So flip that up, flip that up. Let me just have a quick look, and the illumination is straight on. 4, 5. So I'll just take my glasses off and have a look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 stages of illumination. So what I'll do now is I'll come round to behind the camera and see whether I can show you all. Right, so if I hold it steady, you might be able to see. And then I'll go through 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So that is the highest illumination. Then it goes back to a a very faint illumination, which I'm not sure you're picking it up very well on the camera, but looking through the scope itself, for those who don't like much illumination, it would be really good. 2, 3, and that is very bright. And then, so when you found the illumination that you like, let's go to something like that, you press and hold, and that turns it off. So then when you turn it back on again, you come exactly back to the same illumination, so rather than having to then go through to find the one. So that's really good. So I'm going to put it on the lowest and then turn it off. Okay, so that is the, just with the black. Like I say, we'll try and get some scope cam footage so you can actually see the reticle in more detail. Okay, so just looking back on that video we've just taken, it wasn't actually that great quality, although you did see how the illumination worked. So what I obviously stopped the video, and I have used the ProMovie app, which I use with the scope cam. Unfortunately, I can't put the scope cam on at the minute because the ring that I've got for it is a 30mm, which fitted the helix, and this obviously is 34mm, so I need to get a new 34mm clamp, and then I should be able to mount the scope cam. But obviously what I have done is use ProMovie app and did exactly the same thing, tried to get the camera behind. It's a little bit wobbly, but you'll be able to see it produces a better video, so you'll be able to see what the reticle looks like in a little bit more detail, and obviously it looks a lot sharper and clearer looking through it with the naked eye than obviously what it will do on the video, but it will give you a little bit of an idea. So I'll stick that footage up now, so you can have a look. Okay guys, so I'm going to stop the video now. I'm just going to go through sort of my last impressions of it before finishing the video, because I need to get the 34mm clamp for the scope cam. We're not going to be able to, and the light's going anyway, so it's going to take a couple of days to get that through. So we'll do a part 2, which will be putting the scope, mounting it to the rifle, and then getting some nice footage of firing the rifle. I'll set some targets up, and I can give you my impressions of actually what it's like actually using this. But just for sort of closing remarks, I've had a bit of time to obviously look through it, just obviously holding it through, and the image is fantastic. It's so clear, so crisp. That obviously the nice thing about it is, even within sort of 10 meters either way, 10, 15, 20 meters either way, you can still see a sharp image. So you're not having to constantly sort of focus. So I could probably go between 20 and 40 meters quite easily without having to refocus, which is obviously quite nice. We'll do obviously some more of testing that out in obviously part 2 of the video. But yeah, so what do I think now? I really like it. I think the quality, the build, the finesse that Element Optics have done matches what they have done on the Helix, which obviously I love. I'm quite happy with the purchase, and we'll see what it's like when it's mounted to the rifle. So hope you've enjoyed this part of the video. I will be obviously putting it up onto the forums and the Facebook pages, so if you see it on there, do obviously put some comments on, and if you've got any questions, I'll do what I can if I know to answer them. But yeah, so there it is. That's the Element Optics Immersive 5x30.